is up, fight fans? Michael Hernandez here of MLH Media, and we are here back today for the 10-second mark podcast. Once again, talking to another one of these top fighters over here in California, man. This time, getting the opportunity once again to speak to Jake the Barbabian. Babian, after his big victory over there at UNF 15. Jake, how you doing today, my man?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Doing good. Coming off a big victory. Been catching up on food, chilling, seeing the friends and family. Now we're here, almost back on track.
Yeah, you got a big victory over there at UNF 15 against another fellow Hawaiian in Kealii Kanekoa. Could you kind of walk us through the whole process of getting that fight underway? I know there was a little bit of trials and tribulations with getting your fight scheduled. Is that a little bit troubling for you, kind of now, even at the pro levels, to have difficulty finding fights?
Yeah, I mean, circling back to the amateurs, one of the main reasons why we sped up the process of going pro is because of opponents pulling out. And it just, encouraged me more to just step up to the next level. And now to be going through it again, it's a little bit difficult. But I had opponent pull out 3 days before my event at UNF 13. We had done a 6-week camp, and then right before the fight happened, he went missing, blah, blah, blah. I couldn't find him. And now fast forward, 2 weeks before UNF 15, we had, Joaquin go have to pull out of the fight. So it put me in like a troubling space for a minute, Over Thanksgiving Day weekend, I believe it was Saturday, we got the call that Kealii is willing to step up on 6 days' notice. Funny thing, he's from the same island as me. I'm from the west side, he's from the east side, so we knew who each other was very well. And it's just funny how everything kind of fell into place for that.
No, it's definitely sorry about the lag a little bit, broke you up there, but it is kind of crazy because I feel like this fight it was like a big old circle of life almost. You had obviously the original drop off by Kyle Neal, I believe, and then Joaquin was going to take that fight. Joaquin was somebody that you originally were matched up with in amateurs. That fight didn't fall through. And then you end up getting a fellow Hawaiian for your opponent over there at UNF 15. And I'm very happy that you were able to get all those people that support you over there in the Los Angeles area to be able to get to watch you in person. When's the next fight though, my man? When can we expect to see you next? Because to my knowledge, you finished that fight in the first round in very, very dramatic fashion. So I believe you're ready to go, right?
Yeah, I think we actually the fastest submission in UNF history. So that was a nice little mile mark to hit. Next fight, we're looking at February 5th. I told them on camera, line them up. So I'm ready to go whenever they are. Of course, we're going to take a few weeks off, rest, recover, and get back on track shortly.
Yeah, has that been something that you have kind of been focusing on as well? Because I know this year has been very busy for you. I know 2023 has been a year that you have been very, very active, have been trying to make your mark on the professional scene, especially over there at UNF. Has that been something you've been trying to emphasize as well? I've been seeing a lot of your Instagram posts as well, been going to a lot of recovery places, obviously been heavy on the CBD as well, got to stay recovered. What is it exactly that you have been kind of contributing to your main recovery habits?
Of course, shout out BioCellC for always taking care of me in that terms. When it comes to recovery, it used to be massages, this and that, blah blah blah, but now it's come down to getting the proper rest, nutrition, making sure you're taking care of your body in the sense of like certain supplements. If you're not getting sun, you want to be taking D3. But I always make sure like to be as like active outside as possible, walking in the sun, going to the beach, standing out barefoot in the grass, or just recovering in the sense of like being out of the house sometimes. And of course the massages and stuff are important when you get to a certain point, but I just keep it simple, nothing too crazy.
A lot of salmon, a lot of Hawaiian food perhaps in that diet, especially now that you're out of camp.
Yeah, out of camp actually, I haven't been the best at keeping my meals. This has like definitely been like a food bender for me. I've been on a diet restriction for almost 6 weeks, getting down to the weight, and I had to give up on Thanksgiving this year again. So that was something I was definitely looking forward to after the fight. Was my pumpkin pie. I had that bad boy in the freezer, so I had to catch up on all that. But it's been good.
Your guys over there at Team Body Shop, man, you guys have been killing it as of late. Your guys over there, Mateo Ingram and AJ McKee, you guys have been killing it in your last couple of fights. What has been the biggest contributor to your guys' success so far in the 2023 year? Obviously, you guys have had that track record follow you guys, but this 2023 year has been treating you guys quite well.
Thank you. I honestly have thought about this, and great question. I think the brotherhood is something that we really push each other. Like, we genuinely hold each other accountable for sitting out rounds or not training. So that's been something like you don't want to get caught slipping over there. AJ's been on both of us, and I'm glad to have a mentor like that, staying active with both of us, because not a lot of people can handle AJ's striking, nevertheless his grappling. So having him is like an essential part of our game.
Yeah, AJ McKee definitely a veteran presence over there at Team Body Shop. What's word on him, man? I know he's over there part of that Bellator PFL merger. Has he got any word on what's next for him and what's going to be the next stepping block, obviously, in his career? Because he got a win over there last time out on November 17th. So I mean, obviously, he's still in good graces over there in Bellator. He's still doing pretty well for himself over there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to speak on it because like what's going on, but from what I would imagine is that he would re-sign a contract with PFL or it'd be like a rollover contract. This is what I imagine. And I think PFL and Bellator merging is going to be good for both the fan exposures. But I think AJ's still got a bright career ahead of him. He's only 28. I mean, he hasn't even touched his prime. So once he's been fighting a long time, but I think that kid's got way more in store than we could even imagine.
Yeah, no, and that's the crazy part is I feel like sometimes even me, like I forget of how young he is. Like you said, he's 28 right now, and that kind of slipped my mind when I was asking that question because he has been on the scene for so long and he has been doing well over there at Bellator for so long, only having one loss on his record, just like AJ McKee definitely one of those guys that I feel like when we're talking top guys in the game at the moment, AJ McKee is definitely one of the ones that we're going to be bringing up, and especially in the PFL, I'm very excited to see kind of how he works in that tournament style. Are we ever going to get to see Jake the Barbabian over there in the PFL or doing anything of that sort? Because I know that you definitely have expressed your desires to go to that top professional level. PFL is now absorbed Bellator, so it's PFL and kind of the UFC. So, is there any chance we'll see you in one of those two promotions anytime soon?
Yeah, we've been talking to management and stuff to see like where the next steps are. But as of right now, my intentions are to stay with Up Next Fighting. They've been good to me, helping me stay on the right path to get to where I need to be. And right now, early on, goals for me right now is to become a champion in that promotion first. And then we're going to look at moving forward with the next steps. The reason I
Yeah.
didn't go to Bellator at the beginning was because I wanted more of a local show to kind of mature on. I got a lot of time. I jumped into this career early. So, of course, as you take the next steps up, you're going to be facing higher level competition. And right now, for where I'm at, I think that this is a good place for me, like at my growth level. I didn't go college wrestling. I didn't do none of that. So I had to, make up for all of that. But having like been around Body Shop and stuff, my growth has been exponential. So, kind of just like I said, see where the management stuff goes and go from there.
Yeah, growing over there at Knockout MMA and to start off your amateur career, now Up Next Fighting, both of those some Los Angeles staples over there. So kind of keeping it over there in the Southern California area, man. So definitely
Yeah.
like it. Obviously, very proud of your Hawaiian roots, but got to represent for those for the Cali boys over there, man. So very happy to hear that you'll be over there in the California area for the next couple of fights. Speaking of California, you have been getting some work with a couple of the top coaches over here in the state. Eddie Bravo, I seen a picture of you guys getting some work together. How is it to get to work with the 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu wizard himself, man? The guy, obviously has a ton of knowledge in not only jiu-jitsu but in life in general. Obviously, hearing his Joe Rogan episodes in the past, you'll hear some of his tangents. But how is it to get to be in person with him and get to hear his knowledge?
Then, coming from that little island in Hawaii, always watching him on Instagram. He was, a jujitsu connoisseur. Like this guy's like brought the sport to a whole nother levels. So to be able to just show up to the headquarters with a personal invite through him and YL Watson, my main coach for me. He's an old 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu professor. So having him as a connection with Eddie Bravo has been awesome. I go there every Tuesday. I get work with them. I get to go against those their top guys over there, and just grateful for that experience. It helps bring you to like another level of competition.
Yeah, has there been any times in there where you've just been getting like just pushed around during drills and you're just like, man, like this, like you just kind of opens up a whole new realm? Because those guys over at
Yeah.
10th Planet, man, they're always cooking up something different in the jiu-jitsu world. It's always a different type of sub they got working out of there, or I feel like any type of new submission that's coming in the jiu-jitsu game, it's always some type of 10th Planet guy. So has there been any opportunities for you like that to get to learn?
What I feel like if I'm ever the best person in the room, I'm in the wrong place. Because I'm always looking for that next level competition. So yeah, I put myself in the position to get dogged around to like fight these good guys. I got this one guy Fedor that we go head to head. He'll get me every couple rounds, and I'm competitive, so I like that push. And like I said, if you're the best guy in the room, you're in the wrong place. You need that competition. And 10th Planet is definitely where I get that work.
I realized you were getting some work in with Freddie Roach, man. Freddie Roach obviously has put in a lot of work with a ton of boxers over the years. Julio Chavez Jr., and then the likes of Canelo Alvarez and Manny Pacquiao. So how is it to get working with a guy like that obviously has a ton of knowledge in the stand-up game?
Oh man, it was amazing. First of all, like my respect to Freddie Roach. He gave me some very good insight on like footwork movement, head positioning, things that I could apply to my striking in MMA. So I found it to be very very insightful, his information. And so, like I said, respect to them for having us. He was a good guy.
Yeah, no, Freddie Roach is definitely an OG in this game, along with Eddie Bravo that we were speaking about previously. All the guys that you're working with over there in the Los Angeles area, very, very gifted. And another one of those guys that you've put in work with is Baby Slice, who brought
Yeah,
in a certain guy by the name of Loaf into to your establishment over there at Team Body
yeah.
Shop. How was it, man, when you were dealing with the whole media circus with that? Because that video just popped up on my YouTube and I was watching it and I'm like, wait, I recognize that guy. So how was it to get text from everybody saying like, hey dude, like I seen you on YouTube, or like just random people? Like what was the whole kind of fiasco after that video dropped?
Yeah, well, me and my boy Adrian, we're getting ready for a fight, and so we're in the cage working. And I guess Loaf rolled up. They did their whole video with Baby Slice, and Slice is like, "Oh yeah, go fuck with them over in the cage. Go show them some stuff." So they came in. They're showing us some goofy stuff. We thought they're dead serious, and they had me rolling around the mat and doing like bear crawls and stuff. And it was just kind of surprised. Like influencer shit. It's goofy but funny. And then like a month later, everyone's like, "Yo, you're on this freaking video." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I was watching. I was like, "Oh damn! Like these guys are like big deal." So shout out Loaf and the crew. We got to exchange Instagrams and stuff. But man, I didn't realize how much of an outreach that would have.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I had no idea. Obviously, I knew of you before even watching the video, and just it came up on my for you, like my YouTube for you page, and I was like, oh my gosh, man, that's absolutely crazy that Jake, just a small world, the small
Yeah.
MMA world that you
Oh,
ended up in that video, man. But you're no stranger to the viral life, man. You've been viral a couple of times, snapping noses into places or also doing some bartending. How's it been? I know recently you stopped working at the bar, right?
yeah. So we actually just sold about last month. Sold the bar. It's hard to cut ties with, but we got both my grandparents, in assisted living now. So having to sell the bar and kind of make sure they're taken care of was like high on our priority list. Moving forward with that is I just couldn't be there with the MMA. I tried to do them both. As you know, that's like two full-time jobs, and it was just a little hard for me to handle. So I had to pick one, and I felt like putting all my eggs in this basket is the way to go.
No, especially with the timing. I feel like the timing for bars is almost perfectly aligned with MMA. Say if you were to take a fight, you're most likely going to take a fight on a Friday, Saturday, or sometimes a Sunday,
Yeah,
and that's prime time bar hours right there. So
yeah,
definitely understand why getting out of the bar industry was a little bit in the lining, especially if you were looking to take this career a little bit more serious. Ever miss throwing people out though? I've seen a couple of those videos, man. You've manhandled a couple of guys walking out of there.
yeah. Everyone's like, "Aren't you scared to get in trouble?" I was like, "Nah, I make the rules." No, but I've got some more videos I wanted to drop. Not to be like disrespectful to them in any case. It's more of like an educational purpose. We got some good videos. I might drop another one soon.
I was gonna say, what would you say was probably like the scariest or like the like most like oh shit encounter? Because you've definitely had probably one of those encounters at least at the bar. I'm considering, right?
Yeah, I got one I'll drop for you right here. And like I said, this is all real. It's exciting, it's crazy, but it's all real. So, me and my boy Corey were working at the bar. There's this guy who's very well known in Huntington. I'm not gonna mention his name. His mom was a pro surfer. But so we got like a nickname for him called Redbeard. And he came into the bar one day and he's not allowed. And he had already gotten a drink. So I was like, oh shit, Corey, go kick him out. And Corey went to kick him out. He's like, "God, don't fucking touch me," blah blah blah. And then he went outside, went walking down the street, and he came back and he kicked the chair. And this big dude, firefighter, man, is ex-firefighter. I'm not gonna drop the name, but he was like, "Yo, dude, fucking chill out," blah blah blah. Said something. I was outside right in front of Crows, and that kid turns around, goes up behind him, and fucking goes and stabs him in the neck. But that guy had his hand up, so it caught half of his hand and half of his neck, and then went running off. And like I said, that happened right in front of Crows. So we were running
Wow.
down in front of people like kids and stuff. It was a pretty extremely gruesome experience. Like, of course, when I saw the damage, I was like, "Oh, he's all right." But bro, big dude, like there was no fight in that guy. So that was like one of those things that scared people off for like a little bit. But hey,
Yeah.
it happens, and we were right there. So that's something I that was like pretty badass experience to be around that energy. Everyone's all like, "Oh shit." But
Yeah.
that thank God it
Now
wasn't.
now I'm in college and I hear guys all the time like, "Oh, I want to be a I want to be a bartender. I want to be one of the guys at the front." I'm like, "Trust me, you don't." Like knowing guys that especially you or like, just guys in the past I know and have done bouncer work and they just tell me some of those stories and I'm just like, "Man, you guys have to deal with so much more than what people give you credit for, man." So, definitely very sad to be hearing that you're not going to be working over there at Crows anymore, not going to be getting more of those bar experiences, but also
Yeah,
happy that you're not going to be in line for any more experiences like that, man. Because wow, that is absolutely insane to happen. So no blood on you though, right? No blood on you.
I mean, you don't really want to chase after someone with a knife, but it was in the back of my. You
No,
know,
for sure, for
I,
sure.
I'm out to get that knife, but it's better to stay and help rather than you know I was more like my priority was making sure our guy was okay, our community member.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely making sure that he was okay and everything was all good there. So shout out to Jake, man. Shout out to Jake, the Barbabian over there, saving lives as well as beating some
Saving
people's
lives.
lives as well, man. So keep on doing
Saving
your thing over
taken.
there. But just a couple of last questions here, Jake. Obviously, always enjoy having you on here. You know, it's always welcome, a welcome seat for you over here at MLH Media anytime. But I just had a couple of last questions here. Fans always looking to get to catch you in the cage next. When can they expect that, man? I know December is maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit soon. Not going to be seeing you on any cards coming up here, but January, February, March, any of those months a possibility for the Barbabian?
Yeah, February 5th, line them up. I'm ready. We're gonna be back in that cage as soon as we can, and we got a big knockout promotion card coming up on January 27th. So my first priority is to make sure I'm there for my boys. I'm not too sure who's gonna be on that card right now, but keep an eye out for 562 Lucas, my boy Lucas Brown. He's gonna be fighting for the belt. And I'll be there for that 100%. And then after that's taken care of, I believe February 5th is when you'll see me.
Any opponents lined up yet, or just still working on that?
I think we've got one guy we're talking to right now. So we should see in the next few months. I'll have some better insight on that.
Any sponsors that you wanted to thank? Obviously, I know that you have
Yeah.
a ton of people supporting you,
Yeah.
a ton of supporters. So anybody you want to thank for this last fight and just in general?
Let's see here. I got to look at the thing right now. All right, we got shout out Winter Circle Wellness, shout out Tamrock Masonry, shout out Mambo Merch, shout out Puelos Osteria, shout out BioCell CBD, and shout out GC Fabrication and Design. Thank you guys for making this fight camp possible and helping me bring one of my dreams to life. Also, if you're on the island of Big Island, we've got Puelos Osteria, a family restaurant, and we've got both of those contracting services that will never let you down. They all do good work. And yeah, thank you, Michael, for having me on again. I appreciate it. And we'll definitely be in touch soon. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely always looking to be in contacts with Jake, man. You're always a great face to see on fight day. Always great to get always great to get to speak to you. You know, it's always a good sign when you got to read all your sponsors off of the fight poster, man. So
Yeah.
that's definitely definitely a good note to end the video call off on here, man. I'm really appreciative of your time today, Jake. Thank you very much. Cannot wait till fans get to catch you back in the cage, hopefully on February 5th, barring any bad events or anything like that on any opponent's parts. But we are hoping for the best. We know that you're always ready to bang, and we're very excited
Yeah.
to get to watch you back in that cage once again, my man. Michael Hernandez here of MLH Media, and we are going to be signing out over here for the 10-second mark podcast with Jake the Barbabian Babian, the now 2-1 prospect over there out of Team Body Shop MMA.